Motley Patriot here. So today we're about 6 miles down river from Fredericksburg, Virginia. And we're at a place that's been called Dead Horse Hill. And we're going to walk around a bit. See, it's an interesting, snappy, cold morning. Pretty impressive. So I was doing a search on some of the more notable historical sites around Fredericksburg. What's interesting, I've been in Fredericksburg for so many years, but I've never come up to this area. It's kind of off of an industrial road. It's easy to miss. Let me read this to you. Dead Horse Hill, the crescent-shaped earthworks in front of you, protected the 14 guns of Lieutenant Colonel Reuben Lindsay Walker's artillery battalion, which held this position on December 13th, 1862. So I'm sure it was a nippy day like today. Prior to the assault of Union infantry, Union artillery blanketed this hilltop with a savage fire. So many artillery horses perished in the bombardment that local residents named this place Dead Horse Hill. During the bombardment, Battery Commander Captain Willie Pegram struggled to keep his men to their work. Several fled to the woods behind you. To inspire them, Pegram wrapped himself in a Confederate flag and walked calmly among the deserted cannon. It was a time to test a man's courage, wrote one soldier. Pegram's men soon returned to their guns. Trees around our guns were literally torn to pieces, and the ground plowed up. I've been several times covered with dirt and had it knocked in my eyes and mouth. And that was a Confederate artilleryman. Let me give you a little nice panoramic. Again, the camera doesn't give you the three-dimensional sense of there's a rolling hill down right to the railroad. So I think it's a fair assumption that they were guarding the railroad to Richmond. Yep. Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad, and then the Richmond Stage Road on the far side of the railroad on the other end. Jackson holds Prospect Hill. You're standing on a right flank of the Confederate Army held by Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson's corps on December 13th, 1862. Its 35,000 troops spread along a 1-mile front, some in the woods, some in the fields, some on the ridgetop, some in the swampy bottoms. In front lay the Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad. Some of Jackson's troops used the railroad embankment as a ready-made earthwork. As dawn broke on December 13th, fog obscured the Union Army maneuvering in the plain beyond the railroad, concealing the fact that Jackson would be the target of the first major Union attack that day. When at mid-morning the fog rose, a staff officer remarked gloomily on the strength of the Union Army forming on the plain. Jackson responded tartly, "Major, my men have sometimes failed to take a position, but to defend one, never. I'm glad the Yankees are coming." So here's that railroad line. Give you some perspective. Motley Patriot, bringing you a little bit of history from Fredericksburg. This is an interesting site. I highly recommend that you come out here. Again, this is on the downstream side of Fredericksburg. You can look it up. It's on the internet, Dead Horse Hill. Motley Patriot.